Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, man called X.
Ever hear the name Borla, Ken?
Borla? I should hope to tell you, Chief.
All right. He was last heard of in Central America, Libertago to be exact. He's believed to be planning a coup d'etat there. You realize what that would mean?
Oh, sure. It'd be a threat to the whole hemispheric security.
Right. And you can quote the authorities at Libertago on it. It's at their urgent request that you're flying there tonight. Plane leaves in an hour.
Good.
One thing, Ken. Borla may have his men in key spots, even in the government. Watch your step.
Don't you worry, I will.
There's only one X, you know. Even in the alphabet. But seriously, Ken, if there's anything I can do.
There is, Chief?
Yes?
How much did you give Pagon to find me?
Robber charged me $25.
Oh. Slip him another 50 if he'll promise not to find me before I take off for Libertago. I beg your pardon. Oh, hello.
Buenas noches. I am sorry to laugh at you.
Oh, no, don't be. A laugh like that, nobody should be sorry for.
Oh, senor, you say such a nice thing, and in such a way.
Lots of things I'd like to say. The same way. I hope I'll have until tomorrow noon when we get to Libertago.
Oh, yes. And to think how much I had dreaded this trip, Mr. What is your name?
Thurston, Ken Thurston.
I am Marie Virba.
Marie Virba.
But now I tell you why I laugh, yes?
Yes.
I sit down beside a man with hat over the eyes and his head held low. Not until the plane is off the ground does he raise his eyes to glance around.
And all that time I might have been looking at you.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Thurston.
Oh, Pagan.
I said to myself, now that the plane is safely up in the air, it is time to present myself to my employer.
Employer?
Victim's the word. Senorita Verva, this is Pagan Zellschmidt. Now, all right, Pagan. Now, you can go back to your seat. Now.
But I came to collect the money you owe me.
Money? What for?
Do you realize how much money it cost me to make my unestimable services available to you on this trip?
Well, subtract the $100 the chief gave you not to make your services available to me.
But he only gave me 50. I swear by the father of my father.
Oh, pipe down. Go back to your seat. I'll settle with you later.
Okay, Mr. Thurston. See how I trust?
Ken, this is the man from whom you were trying to hide?
I'm always trying to hide from him.
Well, is it bad that he is along on this trip?
Oh, well, it kind of keeps me from being alone with you.
Oh, were you sleeping, Ken?
No, Mary, no, I just closed my eyes for a minute to make sure that I hadn't been dreaming all through the night and the morning.
A few more minutes, Ken. We will land in Libertago.
Oh, good.
You have business there?
Of a sort, with the Senor Florio.
Oh, Florio.
You know him?
Does anyone really know Florio? I do not think so. But you will be in Libertago long?
Depends on how long you'll be there.
I come back to Libertago to settle the estate of an only uncle. As soon as possible, I fly back to New York.
That fits my plans perfectly. You said something last night about dreading this trip.
Ken, there is in Libertago someone I fear.
Well, anything I can do?
Oh, no, Ken. Even the police there cannot cope with him.
Borla.
How did you know that?
Small world, isn't it? But why does this man make you so scared?
When I sing in a cafe in Libertago, he hears me. From then on, I have no peace. He wants to marry me.
It's the first normal thing I've ever heard about the guy.
You joke.
Oh, sorry. What happened?
I leave Libertago 6 months ago. I swear never to come back.
But now?
Now I come back with a pistol.
Oh?
But sometimes I wonder if even that will be protection enough against Borla. When night comes.
There's always Pagon.
Pagan?
Unless you can suggest some other bodyguard.
Oh, Ken, you will come?
Of course I will. It would help to know the address.
Number 17, Avenue Goya.
Number 17, Avenue Goya.
Mr. Thurston, have you really to land?
Yes, Pagon.
Good.
No. On second thought, I think I'll wait and do it with the plane.
Mr. Thurston, I've been hunting all over the airport for you. Where did you disappear to when we got off the plane?
Call from Washington was waiting for me, Pagon. The
Oh.
chief is all head up about the situation down here.
Ah, you should have told him I'm on the job.
That's the trouble, I did. Now, let's grab that cab over there before somebody else does.
Mr. Thurston, are they expecting us here?
Only Senor Florio, and he's only expecting me.
But what about me?
Like Walter Pagon, you're going to seek your own level. I want you to mingle with the riffraff. Find out what you can about Baller.
We can count on me, as always.
Oh, yes. Driver.
See you, senor.
Avenue, Gobierno, Numero. Look out, Pagon, Jack. Pagon, are you all right?
I think so. Mr. Thurston, they tried to kill us.
Yeah.
But you said only Florio knew we were coming.
That, Pagon, is something I want to go into. With Florio.
I still cannot shake it from my mind, Mr. Thurston, this attempt to assassinate you. Borla must have stumbled on the fact that you were coming.
That's one explanation, Senor Florio. Getting back to business again, I have a suggestion.
You have but to speak, and it shall be done.
I'm convinced that your government's right. Only one thing is holding Baller back.
Money.
Yes, Baller's got to have money, lots of it. The posting of guards at all the banks and big business houses has stymied him, temporarily. But he's going to get more desperate every minute. Senor, why don't you double the number of guards at the banks right away?
At once, Mr. Thurston. I shall notify immediately Capitan Oliphant, who is in complete charge of the campaign against Borla. Pardon.
Sure.
Hello? Oh, yes, Capitan. I'm with Mr. Ken Thurston, who has come from the United States to help us. Oh, rapidamente.
What's that?
Captain Oliphant has just made an important arrest.
One of Baller's men?
Yes, and I suggest we go and question him at once. In here now, Mr. Thurston.
Mr. Thurston,
Oh.
tell him. You know
This prisoner, he seems to know you, Mr. Thurston.
Yes. Captain Oliphant.
Senor.
What name did this man give?
Mr. Thurston, you can't do this to me. A joke is a joke. But this man, they don't joke. They think I'm mixed up with Borla.
Our spies heard him say he had valuable information for Borla.
That was so he would look me up. I was trying to find him.
Very suspicious. Tell me, Senor Thurston, you have seen this man before?
Oh, so many times.
Please, Mr. Thurston.
You can vouch for him, perhaps?
His own mother wouldn't vouch for him.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Thurston.
Now, you can let him go, Captain. He's perfectly harmless. I'll take care of him.
Well, 1,000 pardons for making you rush over here, Senor.
That's all right, Captain. Matter of fact, I'd like to have a talk with you. Can we get together, say, this evening?
Oh, with pleasure.
I also would be free, Mr. Thurston.
No need to bother you, Senor Florio.
Pardon. Hello? Si. One moment. For you, Senor Thurston.
Me? Well. Hello.
Oh, Ken.
Larry, what's the matter?
I saw him, and I think he saw me.
Oh, darling,
You saw Bola? Where?
Bola?
Tell me quickly, Marie.
on Camino Harano, near the museum.
Hold on. Camino Harana, near the museum. Did you get it?
Si, I go. Senor Thurston, I will telephone you this evening. Come.
Borla is getting cold.
Hello, Marie.
Ken, darling, I'm so frightened.
Bola's going to be too busy to think of you.
But I'm so worried.
Marie,
Yes, Ken?
let me keep you too busy to think of him.
What time is it, Ken?
10 o'clock. Good Lord, 10 o'clock. I was sure Peg would have heard from Captain Oliphant by now and send him over here.
Maybe the Capitan has been detained. You said yourself that Bola might strike at any second.
That's all the more reason, right?
Who's there?
Mr. Thurston! Mr. Thurston!
Hey, what's happened?
A big fire.
Where?
Well, it's at the government center.
Marie, I've got to run, but don't worry. Pagon will stay with you.
But I like to go to fire.
Well, this is one you're going to miss.
Oh.
Oh, now cheer up, Pagon. Where you're going sooner or later. They've got the biggest fire of all.
Mr. Thurston, over here.
Coming, Senor Florio. I've been looking for you.
Oh, Mr. Thurston, you might have been badly hurt in the crash of those timbers.
Well, you could say I might have been killed.
Never will I forgive myself for having exposed you to such danger. I did not dream that the timbers were about to collapse.
Why did you call me?
Because where I was standing, it was so much safer. And I want to discuss with you this grave misfortune.
It could have been deliberate, Senor Florio.
Deliberate? What could possibly be gained by burning down the government printing office, and by whom?
Well, Bola, for one.
But how?
Wish I had the answer to that.
Oh, your pardon, Mr. Thurston, but I think you are mistaken. It is inconceivable that there could be any connection.
How about Captain Oliphant? Maybe he can point to a connection.
I have searched for the Capitan everywhere. Not since he left for Camino Arana have I been able to contact him.
He was supposed to have a talk with me tonight, as you know.
Yes, I remember. Senor Florio! Senor Florio!
That fireman seems to have found something. Let's see.
Huh? What is it, amigo?
A body here in the rubble. Help me lift it. There.
Oliphant.
The Capitan. Dead. Senor, he must have been helping fight the fire.
Senor Florio, I said that maybe Captain Oliphant could point to a connection between Bola and the burning of the government printing office. He has. With a knife in his back.
And now to continue with Frigid Air's Man Called X, starring Corbett Marshall. The threat of a coup d'etat against the Central American Republic by a man named Bola has brought Ken Thurston to Libertago. The night of his arrival, the government printing office is gutted by fire, and the man who had been on Bola's trail, Captain Oliphant, is found dead with a knife in his back. Now, shortly after midnight, in the office of the dead man.
Look here, Senor Florio.
What is it, Mr. Thurston?
A little clue to the connection between Bola and the burning of the government printing office. Here in Captain Oliphant's dossier on him.
But I myself studied the dossier from beginning to end.
Did you?
Yes, and I found nothing.
Well, I found something. Look. Several times in his game of hide and seek with the law and order boys, Bola posed as a stamp dealer.
So?
A stamp dealer. He knows stamps.
Forgive me if I seem stupid, but many people know stamps. What has that to do with the burning of the government printing office?
Isn't that where the stamps are printed?
But I still do not understand.
The director of printing may.
Senor Priest?
Yes. Find him for me. I've got to talk to him right away.
Here. Here, Senor Thurston. This is the way in which the stamps were printed.
This is where the fire started. Now, Senor Prius, do you agree?
That there is a connection between Bola and the fire, yes. But what it is... Senor, I share Florio Signas.
You see, Mr. Thurston?
Just look around you, amigo. All the presses destroyed, all the plates melted down, the entire stamp supply reduced to ashes.
Senor Prius, has there by any chance been a new stamp issue recently?
Only yesterday. The Memoria issue, the first new issue in over two... Oh?
That's it.
But if it were completely destroyed in the conflagration...
If it were completely destroyed. But what if it weren't? What if only the plates were destroyed? What if Bola had his hands on the new stamps, the only copies in existence? That'd be worth a fortune, a tremendous fortune.
Yes, yes.
Now get this. It won't be the first time stamps have started a war. Far from it. D'Annunzio, when he seized Fiume in 1919. The form of Vilno in 1920. Don't you see?
Yes, now I begin
The timing. Everything ties in. Bola's got to be stopped before he can get out of this country to New York.
But why New York?
Because tomorrow... No, sir, help me. It's after midnight. No, today. The International Stamp Exhibition opens there.
From all over the world, stamp collectors will come.
Sure, with cash. Where else would Bola head for but New York? Oh, gentlemen, there's a lot to be done. Rapidamente.
Everything has been taken care of. We have blocked every possible means of exit from this country. And so, Mr. Thurston, through your magnificent help, Borla will never leave Libertago with those stamps.
If he hasn't left already. A lot of time went by between the start of the fire and the start of the blockade.
But no planes left. Of this we are certain. The blockade caught him by surprise.
Let's hope so. But there's no underestimating Borla and his pals. You can bet he's planned things pretty thoroughly.
But he did not reckon with the man called Eggs.
I wouldn't even bank on that. Well, there's no point in hanging around here any longer.
No. Sleep well, Mr. Thurston.
Later. First, I got to have another talk with that director of printing, Mr. Prius.
Pagon, wake up! Pagon!
Pagon, how would you like to earn an extra $50?
Mr. Thurston, did I dream it or did you really...
No, you dreamt it. And you'll also have to dream up all the rest of the money I'm supposed to pay you, unless you can explain what you're doing out here in that hammock.
Hiding, so that if this terrible Borla creeps up on Marie inside the house...
You'll scare him away with your snoring. Pagon, when I left you here with Marie, I told you to keep your eyes open.
Who can sleep with eyes open? Besides, I made the delicious Marie give me her word that if anything happened, she would wake me.
Brilliant.
Unfortunately, Mr. Thurston, the same cannot be said of you. No. This adorable, exquisite, ravishing... this senorita, she thinks only of you all night long. Worries, I mean.
No.
Yeah, finally, at daybreak, she sends me to find out what has happened. So I tell her everything.
And with you, Pagon, everything is everything.
But she's a brave girl. She deserves to know that her heart has been given to Mr. X, who might die any minute.
I get it. That'll leave only you. If you've done half as much damage as I think you have, they'll have to bury you in that hammock. See you later.
Who is... Oh, Ken. Oh, darling. Darling, hold me close.
You had a bad time, lady?
Oh, do not think of me. It's you. Ken, I have made up my mind.
To what?
Come. You have enough responsibilities without having to worry about what Borla may try to do to me. And so, you see,
You're packing.
leaving on the plane 2 hours from now.
Well,
Why don't you come with me, Ken? You have already done enough. Let the others do the rest.
I kind of like to finish what I start, Marie.
Then finish it in New York. Pagon says that is where the stamps will end up.
Forget about the stamps.
You mean they've been recovered?
No. But I'm going to send some wires that'll blow up Bola's entire scheme.
Oh, I must not ask questions, I know. But you will tell me all about it later?
I'll tell you all about it now. Know anything about philately?
The hobby of postage stamps.
Uh-huh.
Honey, seems such an innocent pastime.
Marie, in the United States alone, there are 11.5 million stamp collectors. Last year, they spent close to $45 billion in good American money on their collections. A business that big has to have its rules.
Yes, of course.
When a new issue of stamps is printed anywhere in the world, it isn't recognized by philatelists unless a few of the stamps are actually used in the mail. That kind of makes it really official.
Oh.
I've just been to the home of the director of printing. Now listen. Not one stamp of the Memoria issue has been used in the mail.
No.
So all I have to do is to spread word in the proper places, and Baller will find that his precious stamps are just so many pretty little scraps of paper.
Oh, my darling, I must not keep you a moment longer. Go quickly and send your messages.
Yes, Betty, I think I'd better. If Senor Florio should phone, will you tell him I'm at the Villa Pacifico?
You are not going to your own hotel?
Oh, just a precaution.
Take every precaution, Ken. For me.
Goodbye, Mary.
Only until New York.
Mr. Thurston, I'm famished. Unless I have some breakfast immediately, I will... Ah.
Yes, Pagan, you will what?
Huh? Did you say something?
For you, Pagan, also a kiss on the forehead. Now off with you, and take good care of my Ken.
For me, a kiss on the forehead. This is the lot of Pagan self. Mercy, are you trying to make me dizzy?
Do you need help?
No, I mean, yes. I mean... Ooh. Why do we keep on going around and around so much? All these side streets and alleys.
We've got to make sure nobody follows us to the Villa Pacifico.
We'll be following ourselves if we keep this up.
Now, listen. While I'm inside the Villa Pacifico, right in the telegrams, I want you to wait outside, because somebody there may try to stop me. It's up to you to keep them from shooting me in the back.
Shoot in the back? Well, why don't you send them from somewhere else?
Then I'd learn nothing.
But, Mr. X...
Hold your hat, Pagan.
Mr. X, I'm here.
All right, Pagan, just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut.
Okay. I've got him, Mr. Thurston. I've got him. But hurry up before he gets me. Please, come on.
Good boy, hang on to him.
Only he...
No.
Right on the button, Mr. X. Who is it?
That's a silly question, even from you. This, my friend, is Baller.
But, Mr. Thurston, where are we rushing to now?
The airport, Senor Florio. To get there before Marie's plane takes off.
And I suppose I'll get another kiss on the forehead.
Maybe when she finds out how you tackle Baller, she'll really kiss you.
Ah, to me and my countrymen, Mr. Zellschmidt, you will forever be a hero.
Zellschmidt, a hero, huh?
This has been a great day for Libertago.
I still wish we'd been able to make Baller talk.
By the way, Mr. X, where did you disappear to while we were trying to find the stamp?
Oh, I had to send the police on a little errand.
The airport. And, there is the plane.
But the police, what are they doing here?
I told you, Pagan, a little errand. Come on now.
Look, great excitement around the plane.
The police have got Marie. Marie!
Hands off me, okay? I will make you pay dearly for this mistake. How dare you do... Oh, Ken, darling. Oh, thank goodness you've come.
Hello, Marie.
Oh, darling, make them put an end to this outrage.
But my angel, I was the one who sent them here.
Oh.
No, it isn't true.
Just as you told Baller to knock me off before I could send those wires.
Oh, no, darling.
Nobody
no,
else knew I was going to the Villa Pacifico, and the wires, incidentally, were phonies. Those stamps had been used in the mails. Some had even been sent to the Universal Postal Union.
You deaf.
Nice act, Marie. The thing to be scared of Baller when all the time you were working along with him.
Mr. Thurston, the stamps. They found the stamps in her luggage.
Madre, I'll scratch his eyes out. I'll tear him to pieces.
That's it, Pagan. Take her in your arms. But look out for that kiss of death.
Mr. Thurston, I cannot express my country's debt to you. As a slight token, I beg you to accept this block of stamps from the Memoria issue.
No, Senor Florio. Get them to New York, fast. They'll bring enough to build you a new printing plant. And, Florio, may every one of those stamps be a symbol of good government. The kind that will survive in spite of men like Baller, who try to get personal wealth and power at the expense of the people.
Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the man called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X. And now, Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the man called X. Whenever the man called X is involved, even a very simple beginning may lead to an amazing chain of circumstances. Take such an ordinary little thing as the ringing of a doorbell. Simple enough. Only the doorbell of a small apartment in Upper Manhattan, that's all.
Good evening.
Oh, I thought... Well, how do you do?
You're Mrs. Jordan?
Why, yes, I am.
Mrs. Jordan, I am the man called X.
Well, my husband isn't here, Mr. X.
Oh.
He took a plane this morning.
What?
Yes, to Honolulu.
That was a big mistake. He shouldn't have gone.
But, Mr. X, it took all our savings to buy that property in Hawaii. And for months now, they've kept stalling us from going out there. Ralph thinks the whole thing's a fake. That he and hundreds of other veterans in this country have been swindled.
Mrs. Jordan, that land company in Honolulu is of highly reputable concern. This foolish trip of his may prove to be extremely regrettable for both of you. Chief, would it bother you very much if I said I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about?
Ken, this isn't funny. Your actions during this past week are nothing to joke about.
I'll go with you on that. 6 days and nights on the edge of a swamp full of the biggest mosquitoes in Florida, waiting for a smuggler who didn't even have the courtesy to show up.
Alone, of course.
You don't think anybody else would be that crazy?
But I thought you were working on a Hawaiian deal, Ken. That land company for veterans.
I was until I got this so-called hot tip. Why?
Well, what did you find out? About the land firm, I mean.
Only what I've told you already. They've been spreading ads in papers all over the country. Special offer to veterans. Plantation lands in Maui. Dirt cheap. The big come-on. But apparently the buyer gets nothing but an artistic little title certificate and plenty of discouragement against coming out to take possession. At least 4 men who did go out, well, they disappeared.
Ken...
Come on, Chief. Let's have it. What goes on?
Miss Brooks, will you send in Mrs. Jordan, please?
Who's Mrs. Jordan?
She may be the chief witness for the prosecution.
Huh?
Oh, come in, Mrs. Jordan.
The girl told me to come in here.
Yes, that's right. I want you to look at this man carefully. Now, this isn't the same one, is it?
Well, I'm not sure. It was dark, and he didn't come inside.
Chief, I hate to seem inquisitive, but what is it I'm supposed to have done?
That voice. It's him. It's the same one. You murderer.
Oh, wait a minute.
You murdered my husband.
What the...
That's all for now, Mrs. Jordan. Will you wait in the other office, please?
Mr. X, I hope you get everything that's coming to you.
Chief, will you please tell me what the Sam Hill this is all about?
Ken, day before yesterday, her husband phoned her from Honolulu and said that you had met him there and threatened his life. 4 hours later, they found him stabbed to death.
Chief, I've been in Florida.
But, Ken, I'd have to testify that you phoned me 2 days ago from Honolulu.
I what?
It was your voice, Ken. Dead to rights.
So that's it. A nice tight little frame. Whoever put it together did a good job around the corners. And, Chief, I know exactly where I'm going to start. Hey, go on, open up. I know you're in there. Pagon.
Just a minute. I'm coming. Oh, hello, Mr. Thurston. I thought I heard somebody knocking.
Incredible. I've only been at it for 10 minutes.
Huh? Oh, well, Mr. Thurston, I was just leaving. As a matter of fact, I'm late already.
You'll be later. Let's go inside.
At any other time, I'd be glad to.
After you, Pagon. Here we go.
Well, won't you come in?
Thanks. So it's gone. All right, Pagon, what happened to it?
I'm very glad you dropped in, Mr. Thurston. Only yesterday I was saying to myself, now I ought to call up Mr. Thurston.
Turn it off, Pagon.
Huh?
Now, what happened to that home recording machine of yours?
Oh, that was only on approval. They took it back.
Well, how about the records, the ones I made? They take them back, too?
The records? They just got lost, I guess, or something.
Pagon, start talking.
Oh, it was only a joke, Mr. Thurston. I wouldn't have thought of selling them. If Mr. Smith hadn't said it was just a joke...
It would be Smith.
The money had absolutely nothing to do with it. I swear to you, by the father
All
of my...
pipe down. Would you know this Mr. Smith if you saw him again?
But I never did see him. I only talked to him on the telephone. He sent a messenger to get the records.
Like that, eh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pagon, start packing. We are flying to Honolulu.
A vacation. Well, that's a very good
It's
idea.
a long ways from a vacation. There's a killer waiting there for us. Probably knows we're coming. He may be anybody, Pagon. He may be anybody at all.
Boy. Oh, these bellboys are never around when you want them, Mr. Thurston. They're really a problem.
Can't say that I blame them, Mr. Kwong. In a climate like this, who'd want to work?
You're so right. They keep slipping off to Waikiki to ride their surfboards and do tricks for the young ladies who come on vacation.
Sounds like a career all by itself.
Ah, yes, if I were 10 years younger. Mr. Thurston, the entire facilities of the Waiwela Hotel are yours to command. I am determined that you shall enjoy your visit to Hawaii.
Thanks very much.
And, of course, you too, Mr.
Zellschmidt. Pagan Zellschmidt.
Quite so, Zellschmidt.
By the way, Mr. Kwong, have you ever heard of a company around here selling land to war veterans?
I'm so sorry, no, but of course I've never heard of a great many things.
I see. Not even a company that has an address right across the street.
No.
Mr. Thurston, why do you keep calling it a land company? It says right on the front, Club Malahini. It's a nightclub.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Then come on. We're going to change our clothes and drop in at the Club Malahini.
Here you are, monsieur. One dry martini and one, zombie.
Thanks. Now, don't fall into that, Pagon. You'll drown. Oh, bartender.
Oui, monsieur. Was there something else?
Yes. Where can I find the manager of the club?
Huh? But you have found him. I, monsieur, am the manager. Louis Chic at your service.
Uh-huh.
My bartender did not come tonight, so...
Oh, he's probably down at Waikiki doing tricks for the girls. My name's Thurston, Mr. Chic. This is Pagan Zellschmidt.
Oh, so happy to meet you, monsieur. What can I do for you?
Tell me what you know about a land company for war veterans.
Oh, mon Dieu, another one. Monsieur, I know nothing about that company.
Their address is the same as this club's.
Monsieur Thurston, it is like this. In the back of the club, there is a small office which I never use. 3 months ago, a man called me on the telephone and wished to rent it. I say, fine, okay. And he sent me the money by mail. Whenever letters arrive for the company, I push them through the slots in the door. But I have never seen the man.
I see. And there have been others inquiring about this company?
Oh, 4 or 5 in the last month. I tell them all the same thing.
Well, you're consistent at any rate.
Mr. Thurston, look.
I know. You're quiet, Pagan.
Hi, Connies and Malahinis. It's my pleasure at this time to present the attraction you've all been waiting for. The one and only, the lovely Iopeli in her Dance of the Island.
Look at her, Mr. Thurston. Huh? Not bad, eh?
Not bad at all, Pagan. As a matter of fact, I think I'll go back to her dressing room and wait for her.
That's a very good idea. Now, let's go.
Sorry, Pagan.
No?
See you later.
Oh, well. Monsieur, another zombie, please.
Oh, Mr. Thurston.
Yeah?
If you have a minute, I'd like to speak to you. My name's Frank Clark.
Uh-huh, well?
I was sitting out at the bar a while ago, and I heard you talking to Louis Sheik. I didn't want to say anything in front of him. It's about this land company for us guys out of the service.
Uh-huh.
I've been around here a couple of weeks trying to check up on it. I guess you got stuck too, huh?
It looks that way.
Same here. Yeah, they sure got a slick layout.
Been able to find out anything?
Well, not much more than what Sheik told you. Oh, I did get a look inside that office.
Uh-huh.
It's empty. Nothing but a letter drop.
Any ideas?
Well, I got a few about the clerk at my hotel. I'm staying right across the street here, the Wawela.
So am I. You mean Mr. Kwong, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm tied up right at the moment, Mr. Clark. Suppose we get together in the morning and talk it over. Maybe you can make some sense out of the whole business.
That's a good idea. I'll see you in the morning, then. So long, Mr. Thurston.
Bye. Ah, the lovely Luapele.
What? Pardon me, please. This is my dressing.
I know. I've been waiting for you.
Wait a minute. You were from the States.
So?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Ken Thurston.
Thurston? Come in, Mr. Thurston.
You know, I've always thought of a grass skirt as a gaudy sort of thing on a picture postcard. Then I'd never seen you wear one.
Oh, thank you. But that is my profession, Mr. Thurston.
I guess it's more than that. I suppose it's an art that comes from being born here in the islands.
I suppose so.
At any rate, the dance was very lovely. Ole e poena au.
What? I do not understand.
Oh, a native who doesn't know her own tongue.
I have forgotten most of the old language.
Luapele, you know more of Polynesian than I am. No more a part of the island than the Veterans Land Company.
All right, but I can't talk to you here. Where are you staying?
Across the street at the Wawela.
Then I'll come to your room at 10:30, right after my next dance.
All right. I'll be waiting for you. Don't forget, Luapele.
I won't. Don't worry. I won't forget. I'll be there all right, Mr. X.
You would like something else, maybe, Monsieur Zellschmidt?
Louis, you may bring me a crystal goblet filled with foam from Waikiki.
Ha, ha. Monsieur is very funny. I go to bring some ice now. Monsieur will pardon me.
I pardon everybody. Except Mr. Thurston, who leaves me alone here while he talks to a beautiful dame with a beautiful name. That rhymes. A beautiful
Pagon.
Mr. Thurston, where are you?
Over here, Pagon. The door at the end of the bar. Come on.
Well, it's about time you came back, Mr. Thurston. I was getting very impatient.
Never mind, Pagon. Follow me. Hurry, we haven't much time.
Why don't they have lights in this hallway? Where are you going, Mr. Thurston?
Out the back way. Close the door after you, Pagon.
It's very dark here. Is this an alley, Mr. X?
It's a back street. Wait, we'll stop here a second.
Because, Pagan, I'm holding a gun in my coat pocket. From here on, you'll do exactly as I say. Understand?
Well, of course, I'll be glad to... Wait. You're not...
You're quite right, Pagan. I am not Mr. X.
And now to continue with Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall. Mr. X is in Honolulu investigating a firm ostensibly offering bargains in Hawaiian lands to war veterans. Someone has proved such a skillful impersonator as to place Ken under suspicion of murder and to lure Pagan away from the Club Malahini to some unknown destination.
Monsieur, I cannot keep track of everyone who comes in here. It is possible that when my back was turned, he simply got up and walked out, just like that.
But you didn't see him go, Mr. Sheik, is that it?
Monsieur Thurston, to be perfectly frank, I do not even remember the man.
Oh, no, he came in with me not more than half an hour ago. Sat right here, ordered a couple of zombies. I introduced him to you, Pagon Zellschmidt.
Zombie Zellschmidt. Monsieur, I think I do remember. Vaguely, of course.
Vaguely, is it? I see, yeah. You know, Mr. Sheik, I'm beginning to get a little fed up with you. That French accent of yours is as phony as that Hawaiian dancer.
Okay, Thurston, you're right. The accent helps business.
Uh-huh. What business?
Entertainment, glamour, thrills, excitement. It's on a menu, it's for sale.
Interesting menu. I'll have to have a look at it sometime. Wouldn't be surprised if one of the main courses turned out to be real estate.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Thurston.
Well, you work pretty long hours, Mr. Kwong.
Oh, the difficulty of keeping help. There are so many attractions here.
Yeah, that situation seems to be general. Has Mr. Zellschmidt come in?
Oh, no, not since he left earlier with you, Mr. Thurston.
You've been here all evening?
Continuously. What else can I do when I bear the whole tremendous responsibility of this hotel on my shoulders?
Yeah, it must be a terrific load. Mr. Kwong, several men have come out from the States in recent weeks and disappeared. Some of them are staying at this hotel. What do you know about it?
Why, nothing, Mr. Thurston. I never permit extraneous occurrences to intrude upon my consciousness.
I see. Tell me, do you happen to know a dancer who calls herself Luapele?
The Waiwela Hotel has the honor of being host to Miss Luapele.
I see. Well, Mr. Kwong, in that role at least, I hope to be joining you in a few minutes. Yeah, who is it?
I'm Mr. Thurston.
Oh. Luapele, come in. Yeah, I'll take your coat.
Thank you. Well, I suppose you locked the door at this point.
I hadn't thought of it. Why?
Shouldn't I expect it, since I was foolish enough to come here to your room?
Why did you come?
A man ordinarily assumes it's a result of his fatal charm, doesn't he?
Luapele. Luapele. Smoldering, boiling, ready to erupt. The volcano. That's what your name means, you know.
No, I didn't know. It was Louis Chic's idea. Shall we sit down?
Sure.
Oh, not there. Over here.
Oh.
Let's say I came because I found you interesting.
That sounds like a bad book. And it isn't the reason.
Oh, why do you have to doubt everything? While ago at the club, you were anxious enough for me to come here. Why?
Well, maybe because I found you interesting.
You really think so? Why don't you do something about it?
Such as?
Such as something like this?
Ah, Luapele. I wondered how long it'd take
How long for what?
for you to make your play. All right, drop it.
Oh, you're hurting me.
And drop it. That's better. Is a .32 automatic standard equipment for a dancer to carry in her coat pocket?
I'd have killed you. All right, go ahead and kill me, the same as you killed my brother, Mr. X.
Huh? How'd you find that out?
I recognized your voice at the club.
Who are you?
Shirley Kaufman.
Kaufman. Wait. He was swindled on this land deal. Talked to him on the phone several times.
That's where I first heard your voice. He was my brother.
Oh?
When he wouldn't take your advice and came to Honolulu anyway, you followed him and killed him. Then tried to make it look as though he drowned. They found him in the surf at Waikiki. That's where you made a mistake. That's why I came out here. He didn't drown. My brother'd won medals in swimming meets for years. You killed him.
So that's what happened to one of them. You're wrong, Luapele. I didn't kill your brother. But you're right about one thing. He was murdered. Wait a second. Sit right where you are. Hello.
Mr. Thurston, is that you?
Pagon, where the devil have you been?
I do not have any time to talk about that now. You have got to come right away.
Yeah, where?
Out at the Diamond Point jetty.
Diamond Point. What's up, Pagon?
I cannot talk about it now, Mr. Thurston, but it is very important. You hurry, huh?
I'm tied up at the moment. I can't get away. Suppose I meet you around midnight.
You cannot make it any sooner?
Not a chance. And another thing, I can't find that letter from Mrs. Jordan that I gave you. You know what you did with it?
I do not remember, Mr. Thurston. It is around somewhere, I guess.
Mind if I look in your suitcase for it?
You are entirely welcome to it. That's probably where it is, too.
Okay. I'll meet you at midnight at the Diamond Point jetty.
I will be waiting, Mr. Thurston.
So long, Pagon.
What are you going to do?
Look, get this straight. I did not kill your brother. And I'm going to try just as hard as you are to find out who did.
I don't know what to think. There isn't any proof. I got the idea because you warned him not to come to Honolulu. Then he came anyway and was killed.
That's exactly why I warned him.
Maybe I was crazy, but I worked there at the club for a month, trying to find out who's behind this land company. No luck. Then you showed up the way you did.
So you jumped to conclusions.
I guess so.
Luapele, this whole thing's beginning to make some sense. If you'll just sit tight, I may be able to dig up the right answer. One thing you can always count on with a guy as clever as the one who's back of all this, sooner or later he gets too clever.
You said I was named for a volcano. All right. The eruption's over. I trust you can. And to prove it. Oh, Ken.
Luapele, well.
You'll have to be going, Ken, if you're going to meet someone at midnight. It's a half-hour drive to Diamond Point.
I haven't the slightest intention of meeting anybody at Diamond Point. In fact, I'm going to stay right here until midnight. Well, Mr. Sheik, straight up midnight, another customer in the place. Why don't you close up and go home?
Oh, Monsieur Thurston has the right idea. That is exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, now, hold it. I'm the fellow who knows the accents of fate. You remember?
Yeah, I remember all right, but it gets to be a habit.
Not a things do. You haven't seen Mr. Smith around?
Who is Mr. Smith? I said...
That's a good question, Mr. Sheik. A very good question. And I'm working on an answer. Four minutes past midnight and still on the job. You show an amazing devotion to duty, Mr. Kwong.
I assure you, Mr. Thurston, it is not by choice. The attractions here are such
I know, yes. The help simply doesn't feel like working. Do you mind if I look through the hotel register?
No, not at all, though I'm afraid you'll find it very dull reading.
I don't think so. In fact, Mr. Kwong, I expect to learn a lot from it. Well, Zellschmidt, you seem to have found my room quite comfortable. Oh, that's too bad. Of course, you can't talk with that gag in your mouth. Before I remove it, however, I want you to take a close look at this knife. See it? Because if you cry out once, I'm going to use it to cut your throat, understand? All right. There you are.
I don't see why you couldn't use a towel that didn't taste so bad. This one had soap on it.
You do seem to be frothing at the mouth a bit.
And please stop sounding like Mr. Thurston.
Selchmit, you have any idea why Thurston failed to show up at Diamond Point?
He didn't? Now, don't look at me like that, Mr. Smith. I don't know why. You talked on the phone so much like me. It would fool even me.
I wonder. Like to know where he is right now.
Oh, who knows? He's probably found some woman. He always does.
That's right, yes. Luapele. I'd forgotten he'd met her. He couldn't have known it wasn't you on the phone, Selchmit. I imitated you perfectly.
Mr. Smith, it was even better than I could do it.
I imitated his voice all right, too. Even fooled his chief, a man who's known him for years.
Oh, there is not the slightest doubt about it. You are the most clever man I have ever seen. How about untying those ropes?
No. Well, this hotel's far too crowded to turn you loose here in the room. Quiet. Before I decide to cut your throat.
Yes, sir. I didn't say anything. I don't really mind being tied up.
I only knew why he didn't show. The neatest little racket I ever worked up. Good for a long time yet with Thurston out of the way.
Oh, he's very stupid, Mr. Smith. You could bump him off without any trouble, just like the other four.
5, Selchmit. Your arithmetic's bad. And since we're on that subject, I think it's time to make it 6. I don't need you any longer.
Oh, well, 5, 6, what's the difference? Huh? Wait. No, you can't. Mr. Rex!
All right, drop that knife. Drop it.
No! Oh, Mr. Rex, I thought you would never come out of that.
Thurston, you gotta do something about this hand. I'll bleed to death.
Well, from a scratch like that, you should have dropped that knife when I told you to, Mr. Smith. Or would you rather be called Frank Clark?
Huh. How did you find out?
You outsmarted yourself, Clark. When you picked up my remark on the phone about Mrs. Jordan's letter, I knew you were a phony. Pagan would have asked what letter, since you'd never heard of it.
Say, that's right. I don't know about the Laney letter.
At midnight, the rest of the people who might have been tied into this deal were all accounted for. The hotel register gave me your room number. I came here, I found Pagan, and waited until you came back.
I knew I should have killed him earlier and got him out of here.
No, Clark, that wouldn't have helped. The hotel register gave you away anyhow. When you talked to me at the Club Malahini, you said you'd been here 2 weeks. But the register shows you've lived at this hotel for over 3 months. Well.
What do you think they'll do to him, Mr. X?
Oh, plenty, Pagar. He's a 5-time killer. For the other thing he did, I don't know. He stole from men the most precious thing in their lives. Their dreams. The dream of some far-off island where they'd go one day and be happy. And perhaps it may be punishment enough when he finds that even prison can't stop a man from dreaming. But it'll make his dream a nightmare.
Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall will return in just a moment. And now, Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall.
Thanks for being with us. And next week, I promise you another story filled with suspense and mystery. As usual, there'll be Leon Belasco along as Pagon Zellschmidt. So join us, won't you, when next I return as the man called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Jack Johnstone with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Les Crutchfield. And so, until next week, same time, same station, this is Ken Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General
Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the Man Called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the Man Called X. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the Man Called X.
Good evening, Mr. Thurston. I have a little message for you. If you don't mind, I'll give it to you right now.
Yes? Have you got Cairo?
Not yet, Chief. We're still trying, but the wires to Cairo are wrong.
I don't care how busy they are. There must be some word by now about Thurston's killers. Get after them again. Tell them I want action, fast.
Yes, sir. I'll try immediately.
Now, what do you want, Pagon?
I wanted to tell you something very important about the late departed Mr. Thurston. Something I'm sure you never realized, Mr. Chief. I happen to be his only heir.
His what?
So many times he told me, Pagan, when I go, I wish to leave everything to you.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I don't know where all his money is. But if you would help me to locate it for a reasonable commission...
Pagan, you dirty, chiseling, black-hearted...
Yes, I know. But if you would help me collect his estate, I could give you a percentage. A small one, of course, but...
Get out of my office. Get out before I... Yes?
That's a call from Cairo, sir. It just came through.
I'll take it. Hello. Hello.
You sound dyspeptic, Chief.
And what if I do? What business is it of... Ken Thurston.
Hiya, Chief.
But, why, it can't be you. The reports of your death. Ken, what happened there in Cairo?
A local lad was working with me. He was in my room alone when a female visitor came calling on me. Her charms proved fatal.
Yes, but why... Well, why send out the story that you were killed?
Chief, if the boys we're after think I'm dead, maybe they'll relax a little.
Oh, then the looting of that steamer carrying an American relief shipment isn't just an isolated case.
Not a chance. The pirates who boarded on the Red Sea were too well organized.
Oh, what a filthy racket. The American people pay for shipments of food and clothing for those poor, starving unfortunates.
I know. And they pay Captain Kidd to make a fortune on the black market.
Mm-hmm. Any lead yet on who's behind it?
Chief, send me the Harborman file by the first plane.
The Harborman file? Good Lord, Ken, what makes you think he's mixed up in this?
Because I was killed with 3 silver bullets.
Silver bullets?
Do I get that file?
Yes, right away. Where'll my man get in touch with you?
At the Kismet. A crummy little cafe near the Nile.
A good place for you to hide out?
No, terrible. But they serve the finest martinis I've ever tasted.
Effendi, You, martini with the onion.
Good. Now bring another for the young lady.
I see no young lady at your table.
Now, you will any second.
Very well, Effendi.
I heard you order that drink for me.
Too bad. I wanted to surprise you.
How did you know I would join you?
I saw you come in and check the unattached mails, and I thought, well...
I had a friend once who liked onions in his martinis. He had excellent taste in drinks.
Nothing wrong with his taste in women.
Your martini, Effendi.
Oh, good. Here.
Thank you, Effendi.
Shall we drink?
To our meeting?
To your friend who bought it about.
To my friend.
What was your friend's name?
I thought it was Ken Thurston. Unfortunately, he died before I learned his real name.
Too bad. How did it happen?
I killed him. The martini, it is too strong, perhaps?
So this meeting's no accident.
You knew it was not.
You're going to shoot me again?
That depends. I'm very fond of money.
I'm very fond of living.
We could both be happy.
Oh.
If you were to remain alive, you could pay me money for information.
Would it be worth it?
Would it not be worth almost any amount if it concerned silver?
You're a very interesting person.
I could be even more...
What's the matter?
Outside through that window, I thought I saw... I shall have to leave now. Can you meet me later tonight?
Where?
At the Silver Scarab. Meet me there in an hour.
Have the martini waiting.
The young lady is leaving, Effendi.
She has left. Try counting up to 10. I'll be gone, too. Never mind counting. It's too late now.
No, Mr. Thurston. No, Mr. Thurston, don't go out there.
Hagar, where'd you come from? No, wait, I'll talk to you later. Get out of my way.
No, Mr. Thurston, people are shooting out there, killing each other.
I've got to get to that girl. Well.
Is that the girl you were after, Mr. X? That one lying there in the street?
Yeah.
Oh.
I say, what's all this rumpus about? Fearfully noisy neighborhood. Fellow can't get a decent night's sleep. Girl's been hurt, eh? Well, let's have a look at her.
You a doctor?
Have been for 40 years. Sibley's the name. Dr. Ford Sibley. My place is right across the street. I've been practicing here, but let me see.
Never mind your life's history. What about hers? Any future to it?
The girl's future's all in her past, young man. She's dead.
Yes, I saw it all, Mr. Thurston. The car was parked waiting for her. She opened the door, she screamed, and then came the shots.
So you dove for the doorway of the kids that like a scared rabbit, instead of getting the license number.
For which you should thank me. We have no time to chase local murderers, not while this dangerous Haberman is still alive.
What do you know about Haberman?
Huh? What do I... Oh, why else would the chief send me to you with this file?
Probably because you talked him into it for your usual slight consideration. So that's what you're doing here in Cairo. Paga? Oh, skillet.
Well, as I was saying, did you know that this fellow Haberman is an international soldier of fortune and a pirate?
I did.
Oh. Well, did you know that there is no description of him anywhere? Not even his sex? The only clue is that he's nuts about silver. All his jewelry, ornaments, even his weapons are of silver.
Remind me to buy you a dictionary, Paga.
Dictionary?
So you can learn the meaning of secret and confidential. They're stamped on the outside of the reports you brought me.
Oh. But, Mr. X, why do you think Haberman is here in Cairo?
The bullets that killed that man in my room were made of silver.
This Haberman deserves to be caught and hung. Using such a precious metal in such a wasteful fashion.
I'll work on it, Pagan, starting right here.
Here? But we've stopped in front of a nightclub.
That's right. The Silver Scarab.
Aha! The floor show. And a female dancer, too. You know, Mr. Thurston, there's nothing I like better than a female dancer. Unless it's a female. Mr. X. She's the dead girl. That dancer is the dead girl come back to life.
The resemblance is close, but not that close.
Oh, yes, you're right. I can see that now.
Sure.
But for a minute I thought, look at those silver spangles in her dress. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stay here, Pagan. I'll pick up later.
But why leave now, Mr. Thurston? There will be other dancers, I hope.
Yeah, I want to see this one. In her dressing room.
nothing about it. It was her own idea.
I think that you lie, Zaida. Why did she visit this man?
I tell you, I do not know. Oh!
Again, I ask you, Zaida, why did she visit him?
Playing pretty rough, aren't you?
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Do I have to write it out for you?
Your humor is as badly conceived as your entrance here. Perhaps this will teach you to mend your manners.
Never lead with your right. It gets into trouble.
Release my arm. You're breaking it.
Funny thing about judo, it's liable to hurt people.
I'll kill you for this.
Let's talk about it later. Good night.
You are very foolish. He meant that.
I've been foolish before.
Not with men like that.
Worse. With women.
Oh?
Do I get a choice tonight?
That might depend on what you can tell me of my sister Deborah's death, Mr. Thurston.
Good old Egyptian grapevine.
Well, are you still in a foolish mood?
Sure, but not here.
No? Then where?
Why not a little boat ride on the Nile? There's a full moon.
You see, Ken, my sister Deborah preferred the easy life. Quick money, men like Polzine, the man you threw out of my dressing room. He's a wealthy and powerful man, Ken. Owner of the Euphrates Shipping Company.
Euphrates Shipping Company.
You see, he was her friend. It was because of him, I think, that Deborah was involved in this trouble.
What trouble, Zeta?
That's just it. I do not know any details. That was why I wished to speak with you. I thought perhaps you could tell me something about it.
Oh, you're drawing a blank here, Zeta. I only met her a couple of hours ago, and then only for a few minutes.
I see. And now my poor sister Deborah is dead. Well, the fates have decided. There's nothing we can do to alter their decision. I'm a great believer in the fates, Ken.
What did they tell you about the immediate future?
I do not know, Ken.
Would you like to guess?
I'm not sure.
Afraid to find out?
Afraid, yes. But you could give me courage, Ken.
I could try, if you want me to.
Yes, Ken, yes, I want you to. Very much.
Then I'll try. But first...
Oh!
Drop that gun.
Oh, let go of my wrist. Let go, I say.
You drop the gun, I drop your wrist.
No, I... Oh, all right, Ken, all right.
How'd you get that little inspiration?
Because I have sworn to kill the man who murdered Deborah, and I think you are the one.
Let's keep an open mind about this.
You cannot convince me otherwise.
Well, I can try. And holding in my arms this way, there isn't very much you can do about it.
Oh, Ken. Everything is so mixed up. What can I do?
I don't know yet. But you've got to change your mind, Zeta. And this is the pleasantest way of trying to convince you I can think of.
Mr. Thurston, this is a definite imposition on my good nature. Dragging me around in dark alleys like this. Would you mind telling me why we're here?
To find out what makes the wealthy Mr. Polzine wealthy.
And you think you can find out that out by sneaking around behind all these warehouses?
Not all of them, just this one. Euphrates Shipping Company. Now get out your jackknife, pig, on and jimmy that window.
You talk as though I was a professional warehouse breaker. I don't know how to do that.
And I'll give 8 to 5 that Haberman's loot is mostly silver.
Oh, of course, merely as a favor to you, Mr. Thurston, I might try. Being new at this, I don't know how successful I will be, but... Why, look, Mr. Thurston. It worked.
Amazing. Let's climb in.
It's as black as Haberman's soul in here, Mr. Thurston.
Quiet, Beacon. The light under that door.
Somebody's in there, probably with a gun or a knife.
Let's go in and see.
Do we have to? Can't we just...
Well.
Coffins. The room is filled with coffins. What would they be doing in a warehouse of the Euphrates Shipping Company?
I'll bite. Let's see if we can find the answer. We'll look inside one of them.
Huh? Oh, no, Mr. Thurston. Let the dead rest in peace. If we leave them alone, maybe they'll leave us alone. Maybe... Mr. Thurston? Look.
Yeah. Rifles, submachine guns, all kinds of guns.
But what a peculiar cargo for coffins.
Yeah. Let's check this one. This one's different, Pedro.
I'm leaving. I just remembered an important engagement. I left my waffle iron burning.
Don't be a fool. She can't hurt you now.
How do I know? If she can move from the street in front of the Kismet into this coffin, she can do anything. Mr. X, there's no chance of a mistake?
No. No. The girl in that coffin. That's Deborah.
And now to return to Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall. Mr. X is in Cairo to track down the international bandit Haberman. The trail has led him to a warehouse of the Euphrates Shipping Company, which he finds filled with coffins containing rifles and machine guns, except one, which holds the body of the mysterious Egyptian girl, Deborah. We join him now as he and Pagon stand there looking down at her.
Please, Mr. Thurston, let's get out of here.
Small round bruise on her throat, just above the artery. I wonder.
The only thing I wonder about is why are we still standing here?
Wait till I check the shipping tags on these coffins. It's in Arabic, but a few words, pretty clear. Port Said, Mohammed Bay, Mecca. Come on, Pagon, we're leaving.
But where are we going?
To Port Said, by way of Dr. Sibley's joint across from the Kismet Cafe.
Outrageous, that's what it was, outrageous. There was I waiting for the authorities to arrive to get the girl's body, you know, when this Arabian fellow approached and struck me unconscious. Came to, and the girl was gone.
Ever seen him before, Doctor?
Once or twice, Mr. Thurston, frequenting the Kismet. Never even been introduced. Makes me furious. Can't do that to me. I want to be in the know, Thurston, definitely. Don't know what's up, all that sort of thing, but I want to be in the know.
How well do you know Port Said, Doctor?
Been in the Middle East 40 years. Know the place like a book.
Good, you're in. I'll brief you later. Right now, get us to Port Said in a hurry.
Right. What's the time? Don't have a watch. Never carry the beastly things.
Huh?
Always stopping on me.
It's 11:43.
Oh, splendid. Time enough to catch the last night train. I'll phone for a cab. Be right back.
Mr. Thurston, I am not going to ask you about the guns, or about the Polzine, or the dead girl, or the dancer Zaida. Not even about Haberman. I just want to know one thing.
Why we're going to Port Said?
Yes, why we're You said it.
Pagon, we're going there to find out about the guns. We're going to find out about Polzine, Deborah, Zaida, and Haberman.
There it is, Thurston. Night train to Port Said. First-class carriages are on this side. Shall we get aboard?
Yes, but not together.
Oh,
No, you got a compartment for yourself. We'll meet in Port Said.
Quite undercover sort of thing. Well, suggest we meet at the El Akbar Hotel.
El Akbar.
A middle-class traveller's lodging. Quite respectable.
Write it down for me, will you?
Sorry, can't. No pen or pencil. I'll never carry them. Pens always leak and the pencils run out of lead.
That's all right. I'll remember. See you there.
Right, cheerio. I'll see you at the good old Akbar.
Well, Mr. Thurston, do we get aboard too?
Yeah. No.
Huh?
Hello, Polzine.
You have a faculty for appearing where you're not wanted, Mr. Thurston.
So I've been told. Going somewhere? Port Said, for instance?
Prying into my affairs or interfering with them is a very dangerous pastime. Good night, Mr. Thurston.
You know something? That man's personality doesn't like me.
He doesn't exactly send me. Let's get aboard. We'll take the third compartment on the left.
Why the third one?
Because Polzine's taking the second.
Well, wouldn't it be less crowded if we took the fourth compartment? A little farther away?
There's another friend of ours in 4.
Huh?
She got aboard while Polzine was talking to us.
She?
Zaida.
Oh, Ken, it's been so wonderful. Just the two of us here in this compartment. And now we're nearing Port Said, and our journey together will end.
I wonder.
Ken, listen to me. You must forget this business that brings you here. You don't know how powerful the forces are working against you.
I took a correspondence course in muscle building once.
Please, Ken, this is no joking matter. The pit has already been dug. The pit intended to be the grave of the man called X.
There must be another letter in the alphabet. I better find it. Too many people seem to know that one.
Then you will not listen to me. Oh, Ken, please don't die. Please.
That's good advice, Aida. I'll try to follow it.
There are times, Mr. X, when you're the most tiring of all men. No sooner do we arrive at Port Said when you rush me like mad to commissioner of the port.
Well?
And then before I have even had a chance to chase my breath, we're off again. This time down here to the docks. Mr. Thurston.
There's your answer, Pagon. The Mohammed Bay.
The Mohammed... So that's what Mohammed Bay stands for. A rusty old tramp steamer. And look at the cargo they're loading. Coffins. Coffins?
Yeah. Rosian's built up a live trade in dead Mohammedans, lugging coffins to Mecca. Who suspects a sanctimonious guy of substituting guns for bodies and dropping him off to Harborman?
Ah, so that's how he can be a regular pirate and steal the American relief supply.
Sure.
But how do you know that these coffins are the same ones that we saw in the warehouse?
I don't. That's why I'm going to sneak aboard and find out.
Huh? Oh, no.
You meet Dr. Sibley at the El Akbar Hotel. Wait for me there.
And if you don't happen to show up? You know, they could kill you,
Find yourself a nice nightclub. Maybe the dancers can help you forget your bereavement.
What? It's now my turn to ask the question, Mr. Thurston. Are you going somewhere?
Rosine, you remind me of a summer cold, very unpleasant and hard to get rid of.
Sometimes, if colds are ignored and get bad enough, they can prove to be fatal.
What is this? National Pistol Week? I haven't seen so many guns since the last gangster picture.
Unlike the weapons in the cinema, this one does not shoot blanks.
Huh?
Turn around with your back toward me.
Haven't got much choice, have I?
You are going aboard the Mohammed Bay to a much warmer welcome than you had expected. Mr. X. Well, Thurston, how do you feel now?
I see your cabin has all the latest conveniences, including the lovely Zaida.
I'm sorry, Ken. I tried to warn you, but you would not listen to me.
It sounded appealing, but I couldn't go for it. Now, while Haberman was... No, not while he was still running around loose.
Ah, yes, Harperman. Now that the Mohammed Bay has started her journey, you can forget about him. Long before we reach Mecca, you will have forgotten about everything. Because you will not...
Stand fast, everyone!
Pagon!
Mr. Thurston, we have come to the rescue. Shoot the first pirate who moves, Miss Dr. Sibley.
Sibley?
We will make them walk the gangplank later.
Pagon, you idiot. How'd you ever dream this up?
That's gratitude for you. I meet Dr. Sibley on the dock. We witness your abduction, risk our lives to come aboard and save you from sudden death. And you call me an idiot.
Don't take my word for it. Ask Haberman.
What's he got to do with it?
You brought him aboard with you.
Mr. Thurston, the strain has caused you to lose your mind. I only brought Dr. Sibley aboard. So how could I... Oh, no. Oh, tell me he's wrong, Doctor. Tell me he's...
Impossible, old chap. He's quite correct. You can relax now, Polzine. Zaida, I have them covered. Tell me, Mr. X, how did you know?
Your old weakness, Haberman, silver. It showed up in your disguise.
Nonsense. I deliberately wore nothing metallic on me.
Oh, that's what I mean. You went overboard. I never heard of a doctor not carrying a watch or fountain pen or pencil. When I thought about it, it wasn't too tough to figure out why they'd all be silver. But the worst mistake you made was in killing Deborah.
Killing Deborah? But my sister was killed by shots from a car.
One of Haberman's stooges shot her all right, but the bullets didn't kill her. The small, round bruise on her throat proved that.
I do not understand, Ken.
When Haberman was playing doctor, he must have found a pulse in her throat. That meant she might still talk.
After she failed to kill you at the hotel and was going to double-cross me by selling information to you, I had no alternative but to strangle her.
Kind of looks like he's the man you've been looking for, Zaida.
Yes. The man who killed my sister. The man I swore I would kill in turn. The man I am going to kill.
Zaida, that knife. Put down that knife or I'll...
Ada, you fool. What have you done?
Hold it, Posine.
Some knife throw right through the shoulder.
Pick up his gun, Pagan.
Sure, Mr. X.
Swine.
Thanks, Ada.
Ken, I don't know what to say.
So you tied up with these two to find out who killed Debra.
It's true, Ken. I swear it.
Well, Posine?
You forget we're practically on the high seas, Thurston. You cannot possibly hope to take this ship over by yourself.
Well, that's why I arranged for a little help before I came aboard. You'll notice we're losing way. That means a destroyer is coming alongside.
You're right, Mr. Thurston. So we don't have to make a pilgrimage after all.
No, Pagan. But Harberman and Posine do. A one-way pilgrimage to the final payoff of piracy. There's nothing in this world lower than the rats who profit by stealing from the poor and starving. That's why we've got to stop them. It's a long, tough job, but you know, I can think of 140 million people who just love to roll up their shirt sleeves and do it.
Our Frigidaire star, Herbert Marshall.
Thanks for being with us. And next week, I promise you another story filled with suspense and mystery. As usual, there'll be Leon Belasco along as Pagon Zellschmidt. So join us, won't you, when next I return as the man called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Jack Johnstone, with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Sidney Marshall. So until next week, same time, same station, this is Wendell Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General Motors. All characters and incidents used are fictitious, and any resemblance to actual persons or incidents is purely coincidental. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.